If you have been doing affirmations or visualizations to try to help manifest whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, I highly recommend going general if it's something you have not done yet. Because to me, going general is the easiest way to get from point A to point B, and point B being the feeling state of your manifestation. The reason I say go general is because so many people have such a hard time in getting themselves into the feeling state of whatever it is. So if you know what it feels like to be in love, or if you know what it feels like to be surprised by something or someone, that's the feeling, in my opinion, that you should be going for whenever you do your living in the end scene. I think one of the big mistakes that people are making is you guys are watching videos and you guys are listening to other people in the comment section of videos. People are getting too specific with their affirmations. People are getting too specific with their visualizations. When I say too specific, I mean they're doing things that, quite frankly, their mind and their body are not ready to accept. When you affirm and when you visualize from a state of feeling like your body is rejecting whatever it is that you're visualizing, I think that that can be extremely detrimental to your manifestation process, because your body keeps the score. And a lot of times your body is clearly communicating with you that you don't necessarily believe this scene. And so I think that what would help a lot of you out there is to create a scene. Again, going general, the theme of this video is to create a scene that you could realistically see happening sometime within the next 30 days to 3 months. The reason I say this is because a lot of you, in my opinion, quite frankly, just want contact. Because once you get contact with your person or whoever it is, the other stuff will follow. The next contact will follow naturally. The next meeting will follow naturally. The next date, the next event, the next whatever. So you don't have to know how you're going to see your person again after you run into them. Because I know a lot of times people say, oh, I ran into my person, now what? Am I going to see them again? Am I going to get contact again? And to me, that's thinking too far ahead. The first most important step that I think a lot of you want is to build on that foundation, to have the first initial contact with your person. And then once you get that first initial contact, everything else after that, in my opinion, will naturally take care of itself. So if you've been saying affirmations that are very specific to your person, saying things like, my person is madly in love with me, my person is obsessed with me, my person constantly texts me, I highly recommend to not do those affirmations, because in my opinion, your mind, number one, but most importantly as well, your body is rejecting those types of affirmations. You can feel it when you say those affirmations, and your body tightens up in your chest area most likely, or in your solar plexus area, in your stomach, and so on. You might feel a tingling sensation in your root chakra, because when you say those types of affirmations, your body knows you're not grounded when you say those affirmations. So it knows that you're saying those affirmations from an ungrounded place, and your subconscious mind 9 times out of 10 is not going to accept it. And that's why robotic affirming comes in, because people say if you robotic affirm, you're going to force yourself to believe it. But in many instances, that situation that way does not work. That's why I want you guys to adopt the idea of going general with your affirmations, going general with your visualizations. Say things that feel easy on the mind. Say things that feel easy on the body, that the body can 1000% accept. Instead of saying my SP is madly in love with me, you can affirm something along the lines of, I know my person is working towards loving me more and more. That second statement has way less resistance than saying my SP is madly in love with me, my SP is obsessed with me. My SP is working on themselves to get to a state to where they are more accepting of my love. They are more understanding of my love. I know they're working through the process to get to a place to where they are more understanding of my love. These types of statements have way less resistance around them than to command something that your mind and your body does not believe. Now, as far as visualizations are concerned, this is the same exact thing, because a lot of you guys are going to the end with end scenes that are not realistic. I don't think a lot of you should be going to an end scene where you and your specific person are in a relationship, or you and your person are married, things like that, especially if your SP in a relationship with somebody else, or some of you are even out there wanting a person back that has gotten married to somebody else. I think these scenes are way too far-fetched and way too past where your belief level is, and I would not recommend doing any of those types of scenes. But a lot of you out there are trying to force those types of scenes, and you don't know what to do. You say, oh Marv, there's a third party. Oh Marv, my SP's married. What scene should I do? The scene that you should do should be general. You cannot go wrong in manifestation, especially when you are first starting out. You cannot go wrong, in my opinion, with going general. From a forgiveness standpoint or from a ho'oponopono standpoint, if you're trying to heal something that happened between you and a person, a living in the end scene that I would do is I would 100% imagine yourself with your person and say there's a ball of light all around you guys. And I would just imagine you and your person just hugging each other with that ball of light around you guys, saying something like, I'm so sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And I would just go to sleep with a scene like that every night or every few nights a week, whatever may work for you. Because something like that, in my opinion, is going general. And something like that is helping you cleanse the past and revise the past of whatever it is that happened between you and your person. And this is a huge step to me that a lot of people miss, because most people, they fail to revise the past. They just go straight into affirmations, or they just go straight into a living in the end scene of where them and their person are together. And then they wonder why once they get back in touch with their person, or once they get a new person, they wonder why things go sour. And things go sour is because you haven't really revised the past like you were supposed to. And that is a huge problem for a lot of people, and why issues will continue to show up in your current relationship if you get an SP back, or in your new relationship if you get a new SP. Because as Neville always says, and you guys know this is my favorite quote, the cause of all evil is the unrevised scenes of the past. So revision to me is a huge step that most people miss, and most people should really start out with. And I think doing a living in the end scene of just having that embrace of you and your person embracing and hugging and feeling what that would feel like, because you know what they feel like, you know their smell, you know what they taste like, whatever the case may be, you know how their hair is. Get all of your senses, your physical senses involved in that scene, and imagine that light around you, and just embrace your person and just tell them, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, and just hold each other's embrace and hear your person say that back to you as well, and just keep re-looping that scene. That is definitely a scene that I would start off with as far as revision is concerned, and as far as cleansing the past energy so you can move forward. And then once you do that, you can then energetically say, okay, I feel a lot better, I feel a difference, and then go on to create a new living in the end scene that is realistic, again, like I said earlier to start the video, that you can see happening within the next 30 to say 90 days. And if that doesn't work, if that's too short for you, then say within the next 6 months to a year, because that's really the time frame I always go by. Within the next 6 months to a year, you should come up with the living in the end scene that you could realistically see happening during that time frame. Whether that's a text message, whether that's running into them out at a place that you are constantly seeing them at. I had a person contact me a few months ago and tell me that they ran into their person out at a place that they always used to see them at, which to me I think is normal. And I think end scenes like that are the types of end scenes that a lot of you guys should be implementing. Not, oh, I'm married to my person. Not, as a Neville would say when he gives the example of twisting the wedding band on your finger, that type of stuff. I think that type of stuff is way too far. Now, I'm not saying that can't work, but what I am saying, for most people, that's going too far outside of your limits. And again, even Abdullah said in the video I posted a few weeks back, most people will have to work themselves up getting to that kind of belief, instead of just starting right away and trying to believe something like that is happening. Trying to believe that you're in a marriage, or you have a ring on your finger, or you have a fiance to your person, if you're trying to manifest them back, that bridge is way too far to cross for most people. So that's why, again, starting general, come up with an end scene that you can see happening very quickly. Getting a text message, that was my special one. I got a text message, and sure enough, in 10 months, less than 10 months, it happened. I would recommend getting a text message as well for most of you out there watching this video. But if a text message doesn't work, get other people involved. Imagine hearing one of your friends say, hey, I saw such and such, and they asked me about you, and I told him you were doing well. Sounded like he was interested in you and he wants to meet. You can do that as an end scene, saying, oh, they asked about you. Stuff like that. Whatever it is, again, your goal is to realistically see it happen sometime within the next 3 to 6 months. And then if not that, definitely within the next year. And if you take this advice and go general on your affirmations or on your visualizations, I guarantee you, you will start to see tremendous movement in whatever it is that you're trying to manifest.